Hello, today I'm pleased to welcome back to campus Jeff Millar, a proud member of the William Paterson class of 1980, who retired last fall after 37 years as managing director in global subsidiary banking at MUFG, one of the world's largest financial institutions. Jeff graduated with a Bachelor of Arts in Business Administration with honors in international management. While here at William Paterson, he was a member of SGA and the Chinese Language Club. Through WP's Career Development Center, he obtained 2 summer internships in Washington, D.C., with the Agency for International Development and the U.S. Information Agency. Jeff was selected as the Outstanding Graduating Senior and the School of Management's Outstanding Senior. As part of the honors program, he completed concentrations in Asian Studies, in Mandarin Chinese, and after graduating, went on to complete language studies at the National Taiwan Normal University's Mandarin Training Center. Jeff began his career in banking right here in New Jersey with a predecessor of PNC Bank before joining MUFG, where he held positions in Singapore, Shanghai, and New York, where he ultimately launched the global subsidiary banking unit in 2010. Jeff's WP connections run deep, and he is a valued supporter of the university. His sister, Kathy Millar, is also a WP alum. Jeff and his wife, Annie, another proud pioneer, have been supporting WP students through scholarships for more than 15 years. Their membership in the Heritage Society recognizes their 24 years as loyal donors, including the funding of an endowed scholarship. Jeff is a regular both as a contributor to the Casacos College of Business's Coin Boot Camp and as a guest speaker in classes. He currently serves on the college's Advisory and Advancement Council and is its executive in residence. In 2001, he was the recipient of the Distinguished Alumni Award, and he still wears the watch that came with that honor. I'm grateful for Jeff's tremendous support, and I'm pleased that he could be here with me today. Welcome, Jeff.
Thanks very much, Rich. It's great to be here.
So we have a couple questions for you, and I'm going to start with, so I understand that before coming to William Paterson, you took a year off to figure out what you didn't want to do. What did you learn in that year that led you back to William Paterson?
Well, I think the biggest thing I learned is that I needed to find a path for myself because not having a degree was going to not lead me to where I wanted to be as a person. So I worked in real estate after I graduated from college. I didn't know what else I wanted to do. I took the realtor license, passed it, and the problem was I was 18, I looked 16, and no one was going to help me, allow me to help them with the biggest investment of their life. So that, but I did learn a lot about business, and I decided that I would go to college. And my mom and dad encouraged me to go to college. My sister was just about ready to graduate from here then. So
Well, it looks like that degree paid off.
it did, certainly did.
So, I'm a member of the American Association of State Colleges and Universities Board. So I was very pleased to read that it was an ASCU scholarship that allowed you to study in Taiwan. What led you to your interest in studying Mandarin Chinese?
So when I started at William Paterson, they had just received a grant from the Department of Defense, I think. It was the National Defense Education Act. And the grant allowed the university to create an international management honors tract. And part of the honors tract was you needed to minor in an area study and a language. So the choices were Latin American studies and Spanish or Portuguese, or Asian studies and Chinese, and Japanese was added later. I already knew I was a complete idiot at Spanish. And so when I got home and I announced I was studying Chinese, everyone thought I was crazy. But my attitude was, well, I can't do any worse. And actually, the Chinese language, in the way my mind works, it's very easy. There's no verb conjugations at all in Chinese. So
Interesting.
I think that's a message that I'd like students to learn, that you can be categorized as being terrible at something, but it's really only because you haven't found the thing that you're good at. And so you have to keep trying until you find that thing. And for me, Chinese made great sense. The modern characters are pictographs of ancient characters that were true pictures, basically. So I was very blessed to find what I was good at a very early stage.
Well, I always tell students it's about following your bliss,
Yeah.
right? It really is. What is your favorite William Paterson memory?
So with the International Management Honors Program, we were a very tight group. There were only about maybe 25 people per grade, and we were in the first class of that. So we were all in classes together. Even the Spanish student, people who were studying Spanish, we took international economics together and other classes that overlapped. And at the time, I don't know if it's still the case, the cultural clubs had an office in the student center. And that was our clubhouse for both the students that were studying Chinese as well as the International Management Honors Program. So being with my friends on campus, we were all commuters then. At that time, I think it was probably 85% commuters and 15% on campus. The towers were here, but that was it.
Well, as being part of that first cohort of that program, you really were a true pioneer. The honors program is still doing great things here on our
Yes.
campus as well. So you chose to major in business administration. That's my undergrad as well. And did you always intend to have an international focus?
So, believe it or not, I wasn't a business administration major at first. I was an accounting major. And I learned my second semester in Accounting 101 that accounting wasn't really for me. My mom was a bookkeeper. She suggested I go to college to try accounting. So it only took me one class to realize that I don't like, but everything else that I'm studying in business, I love marketing and economics. And so I focused on the non-accounting things. I didn't take Accounting 201 until the last semester of my senior year. True story.
Interesting. Well, many first-generation students come to college thinking they should do what their parents did.
Yeah.
But I always think it's even more transformational if they find their bliss and they move into something that is meaningful to them. So you were a founding member of the Pesci Family Mentoring Institute. Through that involvement and your professional experience, what do you see as the advantage for students who get involved in that program?
I think a lot of students here are first-generation college students, and it's good for them to have someone who has been in the profession that they're intending, business profession they're intending to go to bounce ideas off of and to share concerns and dreams, so that the stories that the mentors can tell them will encourage them and help shape the direction that they want to go. I've been mentoring for over 20 years, and one of the greatest, one of the happiest times I had was one of the first people I mentored very briefly, just on a shadowing day, is now also on the Cosaco's College of Business Advisory Board with me, which was wonderful.
96% of the students who are involved in that program report that they get their destination job 6 months after graduation, which is really quite remarkable. So one of the causes that you so generously support here, William Paterson, as I mentioned, is student scholarships. So why do you choose to give back to William Paterson, both with your time and your expertise, but also your philanthropy?
Well, the university changed my life. You asked, how did I end up in a career in international? Growing up, I never traveled, I never traveled more than 300 miles away from home in Passaic County. And then as an adult, I ended up spending over an eighth of my life living in Asia. It's remarkable how big a change that was, and it was all because of what happened here. my professors, all of the people that cared about me, the people in career development. I hope I get to name them all later because there were so many, and they did wonderful things for me.
So do you have some people in particular who impacted your time here at William Paterson?
Well, Dr. C.K. Leung is my economics professor as well as my mentor in a lot of things. He was instrumental in me expanding my vision and my horizons here. He helped sponsor a trip that we took in 1978 to Taiwan and Hong Kong, and he arranged our itinerary in Hong Kong. It was wonderful. Denise Chow, Dr. Denise Chow, who was our Chinese professor, we loved her. And Maya Chada of Asian Studies was also terrific. And people in career development at the time, Eileen Cummings, Donald Roy. You know, internships are easy when you have people like that that are helping you along the way.
I always tell our graduates that it's not things that make a difference, it's people.
Yeah.
So we always try to end these things with what we call the lightning round. And so I'm the 8th president of William Paterson, so there are 8 questions.
Okay.
Some about your time at William Paterson, but also some about your life right now. So quick answers off the top of your head. You ready? What would the title of your autobiography be?
I think There and Back Again and Again and Again.
That's a great title. What was your favorite go-to meal as a student?
Brother Bruno's, which is gone.
It's still
open.
Yeah, it's located just a little bit, but
the building's gone.
Yeah, the building's gone. Yes. It's becoming a Taco Bell now, we think.
Okay.
What was your favorite study spot?
Upstairs in the library, very quiet.
You're naming a new pet, William or Paterson?
I think Willie.
You're buying a new sweater, black or orange?
Orange.
What was your toughest class at William Paterson?
There were a lot of tough classes, but I enjoyed them all. So the one I didn't enjoy, COBOL and data processing, doing those punch cards.
I hated that too. I hated it. I just hated it. What's your favorite piece of WP branded gear?
My scarf.
What is the single best piece of advice you could give today's students, no matter their major?
I try to tell all the students that I'm mentoring they need to find what their purpose is. They need to find their bliss. And once they find it, they need to throw themselves into it with their whole heart, their whole mind, so they can be successful.
Great. Well, thanks for playing today, and thanks for taking time to speak with us today. And of course, thank you for supporting and staying involved at William Paterson University. It was great to chat with you today.
Likewise, Rich. Thank you.